Hey, what's up guys? So if y'all missed last week's video, make sure you go check it out where we installed all the plumbing for this master bathroom. I've still got my dad here to help me out, so in this video, we're gonna be installing all the electrical.
The first thing you want to do when working with electrical is turn off the power to that room. This is critical for your safety and ensuring that you don't accidentally electrocute yourself while working on the wiring. We needed to remove the old electrical outlet to route some new lines for additional outlets that we'll be installing later on in this video. Along with running new lines, we're also changing the configuration of the layout to better suit future needs. Eventually, I want to add a mirror with a light on it, so we'll be installing the wiring for that as well. Next, we needed to figure out where the outlet boxes were going to be placed. Making sure that they meet the height requirements and properly positioning them is important, especially for ease of use and complying with electrical code standards. Since I'll be adding a double vanity in the future, we thought it'd be a good idea to add an extra electrical outlet on the opposite side. This will be perfect for charging your toothbrush, phone, or plug anything in that's needed. Here we're just running the lines for that outlet.
Hey guys, before we do the electrical work, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the basics of electricity, just so that you guys understood that a little bit more. And again, this is only applicable to low power, which is 15 to 20 amps. And the only thing we're doing here in this bathroom is lights, switches, and electrical outlets, so it's pretty straightforward. First of all, from the most basic standpoint, the electricity that's coming in to the house is basically 3 wires. You've got a black wire, which is also known as the hot. That's where the actual current is flowing. You've got a copper wire by itself, which is just called the ground, which ends up going to the earth ground outside. And then you've got white, which is a neutral. You need all of them to complete a circuit in order to make electricity work. And when it comes to hooking these up to different, whether it be a switch or an outlet or a light, you gotta know where each one goes, of course, in order to not cause a fire. So remember that, pretty straightforward: black, white, copper, or hot, ground, neutral. That's the basics of it. When it comes to the most basic the most basic outlet, all those wires are going to get hooked up to this outlet unless you put it on a switch by itself. But in general, the electricity is going to be going to these outlets all the time. And all the switches and outlets these days are very, very straightforward because they have markings on the back of them. It's hard for you to see here, but you can actually read on the back and it'll tell you black, white, ground, or hot, neutral, ground, etc. So it's pretty straightforward. The other way you can tell is that typically ground is marked with a green. Neutral is going to usually be a silver screw, and then hot is going to be usually a black screw. You can see on most of these things there's black screws representing the black. So in the case of this particular switch, this particular outlet, all we're going to do is we're going to hook up ground, and then we're going to hook up the white to the neutral side and the black to the hot side. Switches are a little bit different. All a switch does is basically complete a circuit and allow the electricity to flow. And when you turn the switch off, it cuts that. And you're only actually switching one side of the electricity. So in the case of, back to our original lesson, neutral is going to be connected all the time, and so is ground. So if you just imagine doing the exact same thing with neutral and ground like you would with any other outlet, but on the hot side, you're actually going to run that hot side through this switch. And so you'll see on this particular switch, there's a place to hook up one side of the hot and then another side of the hot. And when you click that switch, basically it either opens that circuit or closes that circuit. So it's really straightforward. You just run black on one side of this and then black out the other. The rest of it all gets connected the same way. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to go ahead and start connecting things.
Okay, so it's pretty clear that my dad is way better at explaining things on YouTube than I am. Comment a W in the chat if you agree. And if this video gets 10,000 likes, I'll try to fly them back out here for my next project.
Stripping a wire 101. This is kind of a touchy-feely thing if you use dikes like I do, and I just cut just slightly, not too deep. If you cut too deep, you'll remove the insulation from the inner wires, which is not a good thing. I just pull that off. Then there's a paper cover. Pull that off. Then there's a paper cover around the ground. Pull that off. And then again, a touchy-feely thing to strip these wires. Of course, the right way to do it is strippers, but I've been doing this for a long time, so you just cut in a little bit, pull off. There you go. All these do outlets and switches. They're pretty cool because instead of having to wrap around the screws like you did in the old days, they have these little inserts in the back of the switch, so you just literally just slip the wires in. So I'm going to put the two neutrals on one side and slip in the two hots on the other side. Again, what we're doing is we're putting these wires behind this plate and tightening them down.
Okay, so using this Klein power tester, we went ahead and checked all of them. All this does is it lights up. It's just letting you know that there's power going to each one of these boxes. Power's on now. Everything's hooked up and it's good to go. Next thing we're going to be doing is installing these recessed lightings here. First one's already hooked up with the dimmer switch. And then this light switch here is also good to go. It's for the shower. So everything's good. Next thing we're doing is hooking up these recessed lightings. Let's do it.
All right, guys, we're going to install these LED recessed lights, and all of them come with this little converter box. And if you just pull open the panel, you'll see, back to our electrical lesson I gave you earlier, it's got the standard connections of ground, hot, and neutral. And these are really simple connectors. You just actually strip a wire and plug it right inside of that. I'll show you that in a second. And then they've got these knockouts where you can actually put the wire through the knockout, and we bought these little inserts that let you clamp down the wires, just make it have a more professional look. But when it's finished, you'll have these little pieces inside of here, and it'll clamp down on the wire. In addition, all these have little mounting holes, you can see here. So we're going to basically screw them up to these jousts so that they can just stay there permanently, and they just slide on. Also, they have selectors, so you can go low, medium, high in terms of brightness, then all kinds of colors. Tristan can set these to whatever he wants after we mount the boxes.
I see hate through the pain, I see light in the rain. Dreams of brighter days, tell me what you're thinking. I have hope in my spirit, flames of love in my heart. Baby, let me tell you something, I'm about to dance.
And then go inside of these little connectors. Since we're going to daisy chain these together, there's one hole for this line, and then we have to take another line out of this box and take it to the next one. So you put one on one side and one on the other. So again, I'm just going to hook up color to color. So these are just inserts, connectors that you just literally plug it in and it stays. And again, it has a hole on the other side, which is going to be the daisy chain that goes to the next light. So put white, round, and black. Now all we have to do is hook up the next wire. It's gonna go to the next light. All right, guys, so we're gonna actually mount these up against this main beam, about so. Again, it's got the mounting holes in there. But what I'm gonna do before I mount it is do the daisy chain. So again, I'm taking one more breakout out. And one more of these wire hold downs. Very hard to do. Yeah. Alright guys, so we mounted this little power adapter for the LED lights to the rafter. And as I said earlier, you've got power coming in and then you have power going out, which is going to be to the next light. Daisy chain the lights together. And then this light is going to screw into here, like so. And then that'll mount right there on the ceiling once we get up the sheetrock. We just do that 3 more times. Alright guys, so all the converter boxes are mounted and we're just going to daisy chain them like we said earlier. So it's literally a wire from each one to the next, and it's very simple. Just hook black to black, white to white, and copper to copper or ground. And we should be good.
I say it hurts to live this way. I don't mind the pain, and I like to feel the shame of it.
Okay, for some strange reason, the AC is blowing straight into the shower. So what we're going to try to do is move that AC vent on the outside here. And to do that, we're going to need to take down this drywall as well, unfortunately. When we do that, we're also going to swap out this light for one of the lights we just ran earlier. But without further ado, let's get it done.
And don't forget to tune in next Friday as we tackle the drywall installation for this bathroom. And if you've made it this far into the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and help us reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers.